Good evening, beloveds. It is 10 something at night, and I am worn out. I didn't get up in time to do this before we left, so I'm doing it now. We got up, we drove to Galveston, we had much fun at Dickens, and we actually ran into a whole bunch of people that we know and had some good conversations. And got to listen to some of the Dickens descendants talk, and that was great fun, and just had some fun. I mean, it's my birthday, and this is what I choose to do. It was also the 50th anniversary, hence the ribbon, and so you are seeing the remains of my costume, and it misted all day, so my hair is kind of really ringletty. But I want to get this done, so I'm going to do this. It is December 2nd. Our title is The Fullness of Joy. Our author is Grace L. Faus. And this was published in Aspire in December of 1958. And she is from the Divine Science Federation International. Joy is experienced on many different planes in our life, and all of it is divine. First, there is the joy of physical activity and of physical accomplishment. This is the joy we feel when we make things with our hands. Physical joy also includes such rhythmic motion as walking, dancing, swimming, playing basketball, and playing musical instruments. All of these give us joy of active creativity. Then there is the delicate feeling of intellectual joy, the gaining of knowledge, the lifting of thought to understand more of the world in which we live. There is great joy in understanding the wonders of the stars, the wonders of chemistry, the wonders of life. Such knowledge brings us the sense of attainment, of accomplishment, when we understand and use it. There is the pure joy of listening to our favorite music, or looking at beautiful paintings, or gazing at the sea or the stars. There is a particular joy in being parents and creating a home, the joy of friendships, and of groups meeting together with common purpose, such as a church group. When we know the joy of work, then we know the joy of work. We have taken the toil out of labor because we have recognized it as an expression of the joyous activity of God. With it comes a deep inner sense of fulfilling one's talent or place in life. Finally, there is that real, original source of joy, the joy of God in the soul of people, the spirit of the individual recognizing the truth of being. We do not create spiritual joy. We recognize and accept it as a gift, as the gift of God. And God's joy is a permanent, abiding quality that is forever undisturbed and unhurt by whatever goes on in the outer. And that speaks to, it speaks to so much of what today was for me. Because we got up and we went, so my partner and I went together, and we ran into people, and we had, good conversations, and we delighted in the art and in just being together and being outside and being in the atmosphere of the Dickens on the Strand, the kind of the party and all of it, and I truly love my jobs, all of them, the what I like to call the mortgage paying job, and the spiritual job that I do. I love all of them. And then on the way back, we left Dickens in time to stop because Unity had their Christmas concert tonight. And so we stopped, and the concert was amazing. And they talked about divine joy. And I talk about divine joy all the time. And that's what, and we don't create that divine joy, that joy that is a part of God, it is. And so what we do is we accept it. We make room for it. We make room for it in our life. And no matter what is going on in the world, we have that moment. We can make room for that joy. And we need to make room for that joy because it's a part of us, that divine joy. And it's what lets in all of the other joys that she talked about, the physical and the relationship and the spiritual. And it's when we recognize that divine joy of God, we make room for that. It helps to support all the other joy that we can create. And it was so much fun to watch Bruce, who, I haven't seen him in a while, but to watch him do Run, Run, Rudolph, and to hear a couple of my favorite Christmas songs. I can be grinchy about Christmas. I just am. I'm a December baby, as in today's my birthday, for, another hour and a half. I can be really grinchy about Christmas, but I happen to love Do You Hear What I Hear? And they sang that song, and the woman that sang it beautifully. And I also love We Three Kings, and they did this amazingly beautiful arrangement that they created that was beautiful. And it was their music director, Ken Gale, and a band named Boris Britt, and then Michael Gott. And they sang about the gifts that the kings brought to and what they were for. Yes, I'm bringing you gold to crown you as the king. Yes, I'm bringing you frankincense, the incense to invite the divine. But then Ken sang about the myrrh, about the gloom and the tomb. And I was just like, and it was gorgeous and it was beautiful. And then Michael Gott sang one of his songs, Earth's Gift, which was beautiful. And then they ended, everybody on stage, including the choir, and they sang Feliz Navidad. It was like, and I got to hear the Spanish version of Little Drummer Boy, which I was like, joy, just absolute joy. And it's a pleasure to watch people do what they love. And that's what a lot of today was. Because I talked to so many of the artists who were down there, and they loved what they were doing. They loved creating their art. They loved sharing their art and talking to people about their art. And there, so many times, people were like, I love that. And you can see part of it. It's this really sparkly green. And, so I got, and sometimes it was like, I love your dress. And then sometimes, or I love your outfit, or I love your, your character or whatever. And then, sometimes when there was a small child who was like, can I take your picture? And I was like, yes, you can take my picture. It was great fun. It was great. Joy, the fullness of joy. I had it today on all of the levels. And I encourage you to have the fullness of joy on all levels, to make room for it. And if you are not finding joy in what you are doing, then what can you do differently? Because joy is a quality of God. You deserve joy in your life. What is it that you could do to bring joy? If there's not joy in your work, what can you do differently to bring you joy in your work? If there's not joy in, your relationships, like what can you do? And that's part of what community is. It's to help us find our joys, to bring our joys together. And I'm just going to ramble and talk. And so maybe I should, wrap this up by going back to the original source of joy. We're headed into the Christmas season. And I freely admit, I can be really grinchy about the Christmas season. And part of the reason I can be grinchy about the Christmas season is the closer we get to the holiday, because I've worked retail for so many years, the nastier people are. And I'm just like, yeah, this is your holiday season. Is this really the way you want to go about it? But, the original source of joy, the joy of God in the soul of people, the spirit of the individual, recognizing the truth of being. And I talk about finding the truth of your being. I talk about peeling all of the layers that have been put on us off and getting to know the person that God knows. Because God knows that joy in us. God knows that love in us. God knows, that quality of peace in us that we don't always have. We don't always let it come to the surface, but God knows that deep part of us. And that the spirit of the individual recognizing the truth of the being. We do not create spiritual joy. We recognize it and accept it as a gift of God. That is the mission today, should we choose to accept it. To recognize and accept joy as a gift of God, and to find ways to let it spread through everything that we do. You know how I talk about every day to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Well, some of that could be letting that joy seep in, or, you can let it seep or you can let it flood, or you can just let it flow in. Let that joy naturally flow in, flow through you, flow through everything you do. And if it's not, let me remind you, are you stepping on your hose? Have you kinked your own hose? You are connected to an infinite source of love, of joy, of kindness, of peace, of wisdom. And it is up to you to let that flow through you, to recognize it and accept it as the gift of God that's already built into your soul, So when you do loving, kind, and compassionate things for yourself, joy is part of that. Joy is part of that. I always give you the basic suggestions to take a deep breath before you speak. And to speak with joy. You will speak to yourself more than you will speak to anybody else. Why not do it with joy? Why not do it with love, kindness, compassion? Why not do it with joy? You will, I suggest taking a walk, taking a nap, taking a break. Like, we just straight up ran away to Galveston today. I mean, it was planned, but that's what, and you need that to spend time with each other is what we did. And to just have that time together where we have no responsibilities, we have nowhere to be, we have nowhere to do, yeah, we had to come home and feed the fur babies and they told us off about it. But love, kindness, and compassion, sometimes that's what it looks like. It looks like packing up your fancy clothes and going to Galveston and playing and visiting with friends and talking to artists and seeing all kinds of neat things that you hadn't thought about. So, and it's really incredible. And, there are other love, kindness, and compassion. I encourage you to practice on yourself. I've already talked all about joy and how to make you, no matter what's going on in the world, you deserve joy, make room for it. But I say practice love, kindness, and compassion on yourself for a couple of reasons. One, it's a good spiritual practice of self-care. If you're going to live a life of service, this is necessary to take care of yourself. But you deserve your own love. You deserve your own kindness. You deserve your own compassion. And you are your own best test subject. Ultimately, my goal is to help you create your first response being loving, kind, and compassionate, no matter what's going on, to yourself and to others. So when things happen, you can respond lovingly, kindly, and compassionately. The more you practice, the better you'll get at it. Okay. Okay. That was a yawn that I was trying to hide. The rest of the suggestions are the basic suggestions. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like today. I walked a lot today. Drink plenty of water. Hydration is super important. Your brain works better, your body works better, and your skin looks better when you are well hydrated. My hair got really hydrated today, which is why it's reaching out for everything. Get that early in your day bright light. We never saw the sun today. Never saw the sun. It was just a uniform cloud all day, and then it started misting, and I don't know that it ever actually outright rained, but it was just damp all day. I mean, it was proper English weather for Dickens on the Strand. And it was it never got above 72. That 70 at all. That really helped. So I did use some artificial light to get me going this morning, and I'm probably using the artificial light to keep me going. I'm going to crash so hard when this is over. I'm planning to go pretty much straight to bed. So artificial light will work too. It's 5 to 10 minutes of bright light early in your day. You'll have more energy during the day. You'll sleep better at night. Trust me, it works. And you can Google sun lamps or seasonal effect disorder lights if you need more support than you're getting from the light in your house. Okay. And then the last one is my Ernest Holmes quote. Open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you do live in heaven right here, right now. It's all around us all the time. By what do we mean that? It's a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. Just like joy. Joy is a state of mind. It's a state of consciousness. It's something that we recognize and accept. Well, heaven is too. Heaven is too. It is when you learn to create that heavenly mindset, then nobody can take it away from you. That heavenly mindset is a state of grace. It's built into us. It's in that Christ consciousness that we are born with. We come pre-installed with the Christ consciousness. And once we recognize that, and the password activated is love, heaven just, it becomes, once we recognize it's a state of mind that we can do it anytime, any place can become heaven. Think about that for a minute. Like, superpower. It goes from a state of grace to a superpower. All right. So, moving forward, because I'm going to get silly and tired. Look for the good and praise it. That's what Emma says. You want to create that's one of the fastest ways to create that heavenly mindset. Look for the good and praise it. Look for the little good. I mean, so much today. Look for the little good and praise it. Okay. I'm gonna fall asleep sitting here doing this. So, I'm going to remind you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I do encourage you to look at there's hours of content on the YouTube channel. There's hours on both of them. And I read this thing called You to You as well. And there's no commentary on that. Just straight up read the book. I'm trying to pick another one because I'd like to do the smaller ones. I just think there should be audio copies of them. So, this thing called You, it's up there for you. And it's on both YouTube channels. So the Running Rev Ryan and the Creative Life Spiritual Center. Okay. If you want to know what's going on with the center, then email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. That way, you'll know what's going on. Oh, I need to do that other thing too. Because I never get that video posted. I'll have to do that in the morning. Okay. As I distract myself. Okay. Email info@creativelife.org. That will get you on the constant contact. Those hot links are hot. If it says click here now, you click here. It'll take you right to the information you want, or to the person that can help you get it. I.e. the Creative Life Soul Session playlist. That is a fantastic playlist. I commend that to you. I encourage you to, look at that one. All right. Before I get too far off. Oh, well, the day is over, but I can still encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonder-filled day, an awesome day, a birthday, a meet your friends in fancy clothes day, a go talk to all of the artists day, a Christmas shopping day, a amazing concert day, a glory in those voices day, a joyful day, a stop talking and go to bed day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved child of God. And I say that with all of the emphasis because it is the truth of your being. You are a beloved child of God. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are a godling. Okay? Know the truth of your being. Explore the truth of your being. Peel back the layers of everything you've been told and get to know the person that God knows you to be. Okay? All right. I am getting silly because I am tired. So I am going to remind you one more time. Reverend David, well, he was on around 5 p.m. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Back to my regularly scheduled. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. And I will see you next time.